Hey guys, Mike here. So now we get to answer your questions and comments today in our Saturday's video. And I did want to say thank you for all the nice comments and stuff. My family had a great holiday. Hope you had a great and safe holiday. And there is one thing at the end of this video I will address because I get this question or I see it in the comments more than ever. And I think I've been wanting to say it for a long time. So I'll just rant about that at the end after answering all your questions and stuff. Feel free to participate down in the comments as you always do or ask more questions, right? And we'll put them in the next video. So anyway, let's go ahead as usual and just dive right in. And the first one says, the weekly QQQ looks like a huge cup and handle. You see this all over the internet, and here's what this person is talking about. When you come, this is a NASDAQ 100, which basically QQQ tracks. And so when you look at it, there's your cup, there's your handle, and what you're seeing is this breakout towards this weekly fair value gap. And so, you know, is it a textbook cup and handle? Not really, but, you know, because normally to the left there, that will be even. But again, as I talked to you guys about these fair value gaps, watch out for them because it's like a draw on liquidity, and this is what's been drawn up to and drawn into. And so that's why you could see this move continue to come up. And this is how you can measure it out if you are curious right there. Just draw a line straight down to the bottom of the cup. From the level where the left side of the cup, right side of the cup, and then the handle where the breakout starts actually touches, and then bring that up, and that kind of shows you your minimum price target, which would take us well beyond all-time highs for sure. And so, yeah, you see this in the S&P, you see this on XOK, I believe, as well. So, you know, we'll see if they play out or not. They don't have to. Now, our next comment is, Mike, it seems like 2 weeks ago, Big Money was closing up shop and taking their profits for the year. With the recent rally, Big Money appears to be back. If they're behind their purchase of stock, it seems to me that the market could run higher. And a lot of money is in money market funds as well. Now, understand what's going to take place here. It's already taking place. It's called window dressing, right? This happens every quarter, and especially at the end of the year. You got to watch out for this. And window dressing is done by institutional fund managers. Why is it done? It's very simple, and pay close attention to this. Institutional fund managers usually do window dressing at period end because that's when it's the most important, especially when the performance of the period is listless at best. Here they push their holdings higher to make it appear that they have performed better for the period. And essentially what is happening here is they'll say, oh, look, we own NVDA now. Right, you know, when it went down the other day, all of a sudden it got bought up like crazy. And so that's pure manipulation down, but this happens at the end of every year. They go, oh, look, we own Microsoft now, we own this, and they try to make the portfolio look like it's actually better and perform better than it has, to try to attract people. It's a marketing thing, right? And they go, oh, look how we performed here in this quarter. You know, we're really doing great. So yes, that's what you're seeing. You're seeing fund managers that are behind, right? They got caught off guard with this big rally up. You got to wonder why, right? Because they got all these different technical tools and all these staffs to help them. But again, they end up getting caught off guard, and so they're left chasing, and they can't be like, oh, we had this Christmas year-end rally, and we didn't even participate, right? So, you know, that's what's happening now. Plus, you'll have more people coming off the sidelines if they really feel like the Christmas rally is going to continue and happen at the end of December and stuff. So, yep, that's what's happening now. And so it could continue. You're going to have your spots coming through here of weakness and pullbacks. But what you're looking at is what I told you, just watch and see if the pullbacks are getting bought up, right? Is dip buyers coming back in? And that's really what you want to make out and see. Now, next question. What trading site / app do you use? Any recommendations? I'm going to sign up for one. There's a whole different boatload. You know, obviously I use TradeView, and then you can connect whatever kind of trading platform you want to. I mean, right now it's so cheap. But the big thing, I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone. With I get this question so much in the comments. It's like, which one do you use if you're gonna choose one of these? It's all about the indicators and alerts you need. Start off down below, upgrade if you need it, right? I do obviously the top one because I have this channel and I do trading and investing. So, you know, but I started off with one of the lower plans and just kept having to upgrade, right? Or maybe I come off indicators I couldn't get on one of the plans, so I would do it with another plan and everything. And the truth is, it's so cheap right now, being 70% off. Like, pick whichever one. I mean, pick the middle one. You know, that's probably the safest bet to go with, and all that good stuff. But because it's so cheap, maybe you want to choose the most expensive one because you're getting 70% off and doing it that way. So again, you know, you can do that. There's also Thinkorswim's a big one. I mean, I know people that literally use Webull or Robinhood, honestly, if you're not some, you know, huge type of trader. or anything like that. So, I mean, put down in the comments which one you use, why you like it and everything, and kind of go that route. But like I said, with this one, I mean, when you got 70% off, it's like, why not? And you can cancel pretty much anytime you want. So anyway, again, put in the comments which one you use. Hope that helps you out now. And guys, before we continue, if you're getting anything out of this, please hit that thumbs up down there. I really appreciate it. And if you like the material here and the videos, think about subscribing. The next one says, Mike, do you think it's time for healthcare stocks to run up, or do you think they're bottoming out, such as PFE, J&J, ABV? If you look at the daily, weekly, or monthly time frame, they all seem to be very close to the bottom. And when you look at these right here, I mean, looking at seasonality, if that's what you're looking at too, seasonality, it looks like it's pretty good right now for these stocks, even though some of them have just been hammered like dog meat. That's PFE, this is Johnson & Johnson, and then we roll over to, but you can see, I mean, that looks pretty good right there, right? If it would happen, if they're going to continue with this rally. AbbVie's another one. Normally, this is when they would actually be trending up. And then when we go into the charts here, you can sit here and see, yeah, I mean, they're all different though. Like PFE, and again, I don't invest in any of these stocks, but PFE, you can see, I mean, it's coming into those volume nodes right there. I mean, it's not very far. I mean, it's 2020 low, for crying out loud. And these are the ones that are trying to get over the whole vaccine stuff, because that money's pretty much gone. And so, Johnson & Johnson's another one. They did a spinoff of a company I just did for the members and everything, which is actually way cheaper. But, and it has all the staples in it now. But when you look at this, I even think I even read Johnson & Johnson's going through some lawsuit or something, but I could be wrong. Again, I don't invest in medical stocks or anything. But when you look at this right here, I mean, also you got to think ahead. If there is going to be a recession, guess what? Well, usually anything with staples in it, like Johnson & Johnson creates a lot of stuff with staples in it, they run up, right? Band-Aids, medicines, that kind of stuff. You need AbbVie, hadn't even been around that long. It's been around since 2013. And so not a whole ton of history going on there. And it looks like one of the better ones. And with this one, you can kind of just, I would draw a trend line, come down here and see, well, looks like we're getting a pretty good bounce. Looks like it's a good consolidation area. However you want to put this trend line, you can go from 2021 right there and say, well, if I adjust this around, got a few good bounces on it. And if you want to move it back to the COVID and low, same way you can do that as well. If it does break down below, I don't know what that number, 136 right there or whatever, it could definitely drop to like 118 if it continues to see weakness or whatever. But again, it's a pretty good place to bounce. Now, one of the questions I get more than ever, and I try to address it as much as possible, it says, Mike, do you think a recession is coming? And very simple. I'm not hoping for a recession. I don't even, it doesn't, I'd rather not have a recession, but if we do, we do, right? For me, all I'm going to do is play the market in front of me, and these are the things I'm tracking. In my TradeView account, I have something called recession. I just have different indicators I'm looking for and tracking, right? And so I'm going to look for transportation, because why? Transportation is the backbone of the economy. That's how we get everything from point A to point B in this country. And normally it's in the crapper if there's going to be a recession coming, right? It's not running and up and everything and looking all great, right? Manufacturing new orders is another one that's been in contraction, what seems like forever right now. But below 50 is contraction. Normally you would see it declining going into a recession. You can see any those grayed areas right there, those are recessions. The other one's going to be the yield curves. Obviously, I'm waiting for it to go over the zero line. That's when things start to break. Again, we thought it was going to go over the zero line. It re-inverted. And so you'll have your 10-year, 2-year. You also have your 10-year and 3-month. The other one's going to be the unemployment rate. It's going to spike, big spike before a recession. And I also found something else I'm going to put in a members video this week on this. I accidentally discovered when I was doing research. And then there's all these different ratios, which I'm going to look at, XLE, XLK, see which way they're heading. Each one of these is going to be heading a certain way to kind of indicate if you're going to go in a recession. And then kind of all these things just really line up more than anything else. One I'm particularly watching is going to be XLU versus the SPY, right? Because this trend right here has been going on for about 14, 15 years right here. And so I'm going to look and see if it comes back down that bottom blue band and gets a bounce, because utilities will start to outperform the SPY usually if there's going to end up being a recession and stuff, because it's more of a defensive way to go right there. And of course, what else is going to be bad in a recession? It's going to be all the travel stocks, oil stocks, bank stocks, like all of them are just going to go in the crapper. And then all this stuff down here I'm looking at as well. So, and again, I got a channel in the Discord, which I'll just keep updating stuff on that. Now, DPST, this is the triple leveraged ETF when it comes to regional banks, and ask me what I think about it. I'm just gonna go from a technical perspective. Obviously, the Fed has stepped in and basically saved these banks, right? And you can see this has got a nice breakout here back from November. Nice bounce off that trend line, moving up, very volatile, all right? And when you pull on the weekly, you can see, I mean, just massive damage, just destruction on this thing. I mean, it's so far down, it ain't even funny. It went down below the 2020 lows and everything. But when you look at it from a technical standpoint, you know, if you're just looking at it that way, doesn't look half bad, to be honest with you. And the reason why I'm looking at this is it's crosses 50, it's crosses 100. If I pull these moving averages right here, it's hard to make out. But then that 200 is coming up, which will probably be a freaking brick wall for sure. And really, the level, I think it's like, what, 65 or something like that, is going to be tough. But when you look at this, I mean, that was like a double bottom when I pull up the indicator and trade view here. And if that were to hit, I mean, that's a huge move up against a triple leverage ETF. You don't hold these for long term. These are strictly trades is what this is. If you want to go out for longer term, you need to pick some of the regional banks or something maybe. And there's got to be ETFs out there to also track just the regional banks with all the leverage and stuff. But the biggest thing to look out for is going to be December 12th and 13th that the Fed don't raise again. That's when we got this last pop. When they didn't raise October 31st, November 1st, got a nice pop, and that's continued, right? And so you got to keep that in mind. Also, what are you seeing on the chart? Higher highs, higher lows, right? And so if it keeps that up, and all of a sudden you get a reverse in trend, which is what it's trying to do right there, then what is that? $69 looks like it is. That'll be your next real line of resistance, which I think maybe the 200 is going to meet there. So just kind of keep that level in mind and stuff if you're looking to play this. But again, this is not a long-term thing. This is a straight up just shorter term type deal here. But you can see with the RSI, the MACD, like momentum, money started flowing into this thing. And so if you're looking at it, that's all I can get. Please put in the comments if you're playing this, if you think anything about that. Now, looking at this one, it says, is there something that shows you the call sweeps in real time as they come in? I don't know how delayed it is, but I know like Cheddar Flow, which I have no association with at all. I don't even have an account with them. But, you know, I knew they were doing a 40% off sale. So if you're looking to get into it, and I think you get a 7-day free trial to check it out. They do those call sweeps, Unusual Wells. There's some other ones. So, you know, please put in the comments if there's something you use. And again, I don't know the delay on the information, how long it's taking to get those in. But, you know, I've seen it usually in Cheddar Flow. You can see it on Twitter. They'll send it out and stuff, but I don't know how long that delay is. But I'm usually just looking for Tesla call sweeps is what I'm looking for, to be honest with you, because that's when I know the stock is going to be doing one of those runs all day long, really, is what I use it for. But, again, if you know a better one, put it in the comments. Now, like I said in the beginning, what I was going to say, because I get this question a lot, and I've never really commented on it. But, you know, I'll see people say, well, you know, I can't afford, I really want to either buy your membership or this other thing from Cheddar Flow or whatever, or start investing. I want to start investing, but I can't afford it, right? And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, you know, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm just saying, if you can't afford to go to McDonald's and buy one combo, which is basically what it costs for a lot of these different memberships, or even to invest, start saving $10 a week or whatever it is, like there's 3 questions you need to ask yourself. One is, before the 3 questions, like, what is it you doing for a living, right? Because maybe you're just in a situation where you just can't save. That could be the absolute the case, right? We've all been there at some point in time of our life. The other one is, and we all know people like this, they actually have good jobs. But the 3 questions, when you look at them, you got to say, hey, man, what are you wearing? What are you driving? And where are you living? Because there's such thing as house poor, car poor, clothing poor. You know these folks I'm talking about, right? They're so worried about impressing other people. They're not worried about impressing their bank accounts or their retirement accounts, right? And so, you know, I always say, if you can't afford to buy a nugget combo at McDonald's, or can't afford to, which I'm really saying you can't afford to save, right? You can't afford to save money to even put in some kind of ETF, whether it's just the SPY, the QQQ, a Vanguard ETF, something to track the market and try to put back in everything for retirement one day. And again, if you got some crazy, you know, inheritance coming in, I guess you don't have to worry about that. Again, I don't have that coming in, so definitely have to fend for ourselves. But, you know, again, if you can't afford to save, invest, and all that stuff, and you're trying to do it, and you're wearing, you know, Nike gear or name brand, any name brand stuff, Gucci, Rolex watches, you know, you really need to stop that. I mean, that's a lot of money going down the drain. I'll tell you where you can get that stuff at. The other one is, what are you driving? Right? That's the other thing. What are you driving? You know, for me, I literally don't care what I drive. I really don't. People make fun of me for it, but I hadn't had a car payment in years, many years, because I literally would drive a car till it stops, and then I donate it to charity and let them do what they want to with it. That's what I don't care. I'm one of the people. If you ever saw me out in public, you will never recognize me. Most people never do. I've been recognized once, and that was in a Cub Scout thing. But I'm telling you, like, I don't care. I'm a shorts, t-shirt, cap, and tennis shoes guy. I'm not trying to. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. The only opinions I care about is my wife and my kids. That's it. Everybody else, I always tell them, hey, you want to start paying my bills? Your opinion matters to me. Besides that, not happening. And especially when it comes to, keeping up with the Joneses, I always joke and say, yeah, we're not those Joneses. I used to ask my grandpa, they're like, what are you talking about keeping up with the Joneses? We're just regular folks. And they go, no, the other Joneses, And so they're just too busy trying to keep up with the Joneses by driving their Mercedes, the Tesla they can't afford, whatever it is, and then where you're living. A lot of people we know, and you know them, you may be one of them, house poor, man. The mortgage is so high, can't afford to save nothing. That's just the way it is. They're eating steak and filet mignon. Credit cards can't get paid off every month. And eventually that comes back to haunt people, But it's really easy to save money. I mean, if you just go down, you make a budget. And by the way, if you want to wear name brand stuff, go to Goodwill. People think that place for the poor. No, it ain't. You kidding me? Where I live at, they build one every block. Ain't no poor people around here. I mean, shoot, I'm telling you, it's crazy how it works. I used to think that's what it was for, and then I'd be driving to Alpharetta, Georgia when I worked up there. All of a sudden I'm seeing a Lamborghini, all kinds of Mercedes, BMWs parked outside this Goodwill, and I was like, what in the world? And they're like, no, that's where they go. And you go in there, I'm telling you, man, and by the way, if you're getting out of college, don't you dare go to a suit store or a mall or something like that. You take your butt to Goodwill, I guarantee you will find an interview suit to go to, or if you need a funeral suit for something, you will find one in there in great condition. I found the exact one I bought, and when I came out of college, nobody told me about Goodwill, and so I went to a suit store. Oh my goodness. And when I saw the same suit sitting in that Goodwill, mint condition, great, and I saw it selling for like $70, and what I bought mine for out of the store, are you kidding me? So trust me, that's a hidden secret right there. People think Goodwill's for poor people. No, it's not. That's what it was meant for. But then all of a sudden it became something else. And they became a real business. And they knew where to start building those things. And it's crazy. I mean, I got a 1985 Bears championship shirt out of there, mint condition. I was like, what? Paid $12 for it. It's worth way more than that, by the way. But I'm not going to sell it. I wear it and it's still in the closet, right? I mean, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff there. Belts, you name it. So that's where you go, all right? Quit trying to impress everybody. Quit trying to be house poor, all that stuff, and start saving. If you want to do it, it's not hard to do. Write down all the memberships you have, figure out which ones you need, which one you don't need. Shop on Black Fridays, and all these different things. That's when you shop, right? And what I do to save money? I told people that I looked at the trade view thing. I was like 70% off. I paid full price last time I did it. I went and bought a couple of them because now I ain't got to worry about it, right? And I save like $600-700. I know I'm gonna need it. I know I'm gonna use it. Why would I wait and risk if they don't do the sale again? I'm screwed, right? Simple things like that. Simple things. Do your Christmas shopping now. Get it done. You get great deals if that's what you're gonna do, right? And then and plus cut down that stuff, man. Like with our child, we found out. You ever notice kids, man? They play more with the wrappers and the boxes and the simple stuff, and we're trying to buy them all this expensive stuff. They don't even care about that. It's crazy. I thought about when I was a kid, that's the way it was with me. A football. I had way more fun with that than some electronic car that costs $500. I mean, it's amazing how that works. But you can say, I'm telling you, you can save all kinds of stuff if you just do it the right way. And all that money, it just flows into a savings account and an investment account, and it'll grow fast. I'm telling you, it'll grow fast for you. So, that's pretty much what I got to say about that. And I get emails, comments down below. Feel free to share what you think, but I just see it all the time. I thought, let me just address this now because I don't think I've ever spoken that before. I don't know why. And I kept meaning to say that, but that's it. What you're wearing, what you're driving, what you're living in. All right, and pay those freaking credit cards off every month. And go find credit cards where you get 12 or 24 months with no interest, and then take the balance. Again, not financial advice here, but here's what I did. Take those balances that have those 20-25% APRs and stuff, and transfer them onto those credit cards that have no interest, so you can get it paid down. Get it paid down. Stop paying the minimums. You'll never pay them off, right? And you'll just be, roughing it for a long time by doing that. So please, that's what you need to do. And the rule of thumb in my house is simple. I tell my son, Just because we have money to spend, don't mean you got to spend it. Okay? Doesn't mean that one bit. That's just the way it is. There's easy ways to travel for cheap. There's easy ways to buy clothes for cheap in this country. All kinds of stuff. And so you just got to find them. If not, ask me a question. Ask somebody in the comments a question. Ask somebody around your family, friends, whatever it is, a question. Okay? That's all you got to do. So hope that helps at least one person out there. And if you're young, start now learning financial discipline at a young age. Don't wait till your 40s and 50s, okay? So anyway, I hope you guys got some out of it. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Feel free to share your thoughts and stuff. And I'll see you tomorrow.